Hi, Alice Roorda here, Spiritual Psychologist. Today I want to talk about multidimensionality. What is it and how can you experience it? Before we go into the broad, big expansion of what you are, I want to bring you back to who you are here, right now, today. You are you, having your life, but you know that you are influenced by your past, right? By your upbringing, your experiences, and that has made you into the person you are today. Agree? Now, your parents are a big part of that, the way you identify yourself today. And your parents are influenced by their parents, they're influenced by their parents, and so that's your ancestral line. You agree with me that your ancestral line therefore has also an importance in who you are today. You're still following me there, right? More than this three-dimensional reality that you are, three-dimensional being that you are. Oh, there's so much more. So let us start with you have past lives and you have future lives. And those are very connected to who you are, right? You can actually access those lives. Now there's one thing that you agree with me, that you don't have to remember all your past. You don't have to remember every day of that to know who you are today. So you don't have to remember in the same way, you don't have to remember all your past lives or your future life for that matter to know who you are today. What you need for that to feel into that multidimensionality in all those persons that you are, all those beings that you are, all those energies that you are, because those could be animals, those could be plants, those could be a light being, those could be a wolf, those could be an extraterrestrial life or an earthbound life. You got that? All of that is part of you, but you don't have to you don't have to remember your past and every day of that to know who you are today. You don't have to remember all your past lives or all your parallel lives, which is the same thing, for you to feel into that, for you to feel that that is also part of you. So it's on a conceptual level, you understand that, but most important is for you to really feel that you're part of that. That is where you expand yourself into what else you are, right? Into all these different dimensions, these different facets of you, these different parts of you. Now there's one other element that is important with being your multidimensionality, and that is your higher self. Let me take this with it. I made a beautiful drawing on my little whiteboard. So imagine that here is you and you're influenced by your past and your ancestors, right? And then you also have all these different timelines, and there's way, way more than what I can draw here. And those are all connected to your higher self. Your higher self is the one who's, you could say, oversees it. And your higher self is part of all of those different lives that you are, all of those different dimensions that you are. And your higher self is there to help you grow and develop. And it has the information about your past and your ancestors, about your different lifetimes. It knows everything about you, and it also knows where you're going, what your purpose is. It knows everything. When you start to connect with your higher self, really to connect and feel that higher self be part of you, and you feel that all your past lives and your different timelines, the different yous, the different I's are part of you, that's where you start feeling a multi-dimensional being. And why do I think that is so important? Because I believe once you start feeling all of that you are, is where you can start experience wholeness. Wholeness in all those facets that you are. It all becomes one multi-dimensional being. There's another element to that, because why I think it's so important to feel whole, because it enriches your life, it enriches who you are, it makes you feel complete, it makes you feel coming home. But there's more to it, because once you feel your wholeness, it is easier to see others as whole as well. So just imagine you are this being in this lifetime and you connect with someone in this lifetime. You're connecting not just with one person, you connect with a whole system there. And once you can feel into it, just not know it only, but feel into that, when you connect with others from that place of wholeness, you can see others as whole, no matter where they are in their life. No matter if you think they are broken and not whole, they are part of a wholeness. They are part of all of that, and they might not feel into that wholeness yet, but you can look at them from the perspective of wholeness. Imagine you look at people as whole, as complete, as perfect as they are. How different would you approach people? How different would you approach a world view of that? How different would you approach the galaxy? All of that, right? And then, of course, there is source. We cannot do this conversation without connecting to source, right? Or God, or the light, however you want to call it. And we are all connected to that source, right? And in that connection, that is where you can experience oneness. And I believe that it helps to be feeling whole to experience that oneness. Now I want to say one thing about that, because the old way of reaching that would be to first clear our traumas, to work through the past and clear our darkness and our shadows, whatever you want to call it, and clear our ancestral line. And it's a long process, or it was a long process, to get to that wholeness eventually, or maybe just perhaps only in your lifetime to feel you're kind of whole. You're kind of one. Now, we don't have time in these days anymore to go through such a long process. It is time to do it faster. And luckily, there is a way. There's a quantum way of doing that way faster. But the new way, the quantum way of doing it, is that you can be everywhere at the same time. You don't have to do one thing first and then the other, and then it's the order of things. So what I love to do is have people experience oneness, have people experience their multidimensionality, have people experience their being, who they are now, have people clear their ancestral line and their trauma, while they also are able to access all the others. Now, it is true that you first need to heal the past before you can stay in that feeling of multidimensionality, where you can really have your higher self live through you into this life and feel more in flow. Yes, for that the past needs to be healed for you to stay there. But you can touch upon it, you can experience that already, so it fast forwards this whole process. All right? Does it make sense to you? And that is why I have this YouTube channel, to really help you to step into your multidimensionality so that you can start feeling that wholeness and then oneness. And I do that through quantum healing, where I help you to release some of the past. I do that by helping you to feel into that multidimensionality. I do that by guided visualizations. And every first Monday of the month, I do a Q&A with your higher self. So you get more understanding about questions that you have about your life, about your multidimensionality, about your higher self, about your spirit guides, whatever you want to know something about. If you want to be part of that, I want to invite you to join my light portal. There's a free section there. You can get Zoom access to those live events, so that you can have your personal question asked there and answered through my channeling. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked what you saw, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can see and hear and experience more of these videos. Thank you so much. Much love. Bye-bye.